All right, guys, here we go. Welcome in. It's another edition of the Joe Raineri Show, brought to you by our friends at uwager.eu. If you need, and no, not if you need, you guys definitely need an alternative. You need multiple alternatives to be able to line shop correctly, especially for tonight's Sweet 16, especially now that baseball is in full swing. NBA playoffs just around the corner. Guys, you are betting numbers. You're not betting teams, which is why you need more than one sportsbook at your disposal, which is why, of course, we recommend our friends at uwager.eu. The fact of their personal, their whole customer service is second to none. The pricing has been fantastic all throughout the entire tournament. And you need to be able to know that you can deposit money in, pull money out whenever you want without having to jump through hoops. That is why we recommend UWager. We'll tell you how you can get a 100% deposit bonus here in just a minute. But it is Friday. Friday is fun day. Friday is time to put the rest of the week behind you guys. Whatever happened up to this point doesn't mean a damn thing. Judging by what I've read from a lot of you over social media here the last couple of days, hasn't necessarily been a good week. Some of you did the exact opposite of what we told you yesterday. Don't go hog wild because you got multiple games now. You got all 30 teams playing in baseball yesterday. You had 16 teams NBA. You had so many different things to go at, Sweet 16 games. A lot of you went a little crazy, like I told you not to, warned you that it's not built in a day here. This is a marathon. It is not a sprint. And we're going to throw even more crap your way here in just a few, as I'm going to let you hear from our good friend, one of the best soccer handicappers in the game, Charles Michel. He's going to join us here. He's got a couple of games, 3 or 4 games he's got coming up beginning tomorrow over the weekend. English Premier League, little EPL. He is all over it. The last time he was on this show, guys, he was undefeated, all right? You guys, we all cleaned up last time he was here. Nobody does soccer like Charles, so you're going to hear from him coming up. Ralph Michaels, WagerTalk.com, our good friend, joined us earlier in the week. And if you guys didn't get a chance to hear that show, if you weren't able to join us on Tuesday, I'm going to play back. Ralph talked about tonight's games. He talked about Michigan State and LSU. He talked about North Carolina, Auburn. He talks about Duke, Virginia Tech. He also talks about Houston and Kentucky. All great, as typical Ralph Michaels fashion. He's got better TNA than anybody, babe. All right? This guy does trends and angles better than anybody you know. And he's got some really important details you might not have thought about. If you're still on the edge, if you're still trying to figure out which way you want to go on the play tonight, wait till you hear what Ralph has to say. Some real valuable information, and we're going to go ahead and replay that for you. Trendy bets. What can I say about trendy bets here, guys? Nailed it again last night, 2-0, I believe, and I want to make sure I have the information correctly here. So let me just see this quick. Because I know it was, I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, last night. Let me get their review last night. Let's see. The plays that they handed out last night. Dun-dun-dun-dun. Yeah, they were 5-1 with their free picks on the site. They were 3-1 with their free play alerts. And, of course, they were 2-0 here on the show with the ones that they passed along. They've got a couple of more plays here tonight. One in the NBA. And they got a big college game that they like. And wouldn't you know it, they've also got a Major League Baseball game they want to throw your way. So we're going to give you all of those free picks here tonight from our friends at Trendy Bets. What can I say, guys? They cleaned up last night. It was unbelievable. Right now, their March Madness plays are 20-12. Good for $680 for the $100 better. Great stuff there. And, of course, the NBA has been just phenomenal all year long. And they're going to keep rolling. We're going to keep rolling, giving you those free plays, giving you guys an opportunity to cash in. Don't wait. They've been killing it, absolutely killing it. Did so again last night. Can't believe how good. I think, what are they now? 5-1 this week with the alone on the free plays here. They got 5-1. So they're coming, guys. If you haven't done so already, start tailing these guys. Here's what they picked, I believe, last night in the tournament. This was their tournament plays in college, documented, of course, because, they posted all of these here. Gonzaga, Purdue, Texas Tech under, and Virginia under also. So, guys, they killed it last night. Those were their plays that they sent out. Those were the plays. 3 of those plays were free plays that they passed along. That is money. Cha-friggin' ching, all right? So trendy bets coming your way. We're going to go ahead and get you those plays. Who else is on tap here? Also going to ask for your help here, guys. A good friend of the show, Mike, known as Igor's Locks, who's also been doing a fantastic job this tournament long. His free plays on his site that he's been passing out have been absolutely slaying it. He's been profiting left and right here this whole college basketball season. He's got a local charity there that he was working with in Chicago, and, of course, near and dear to my heart because it's about dogs, and you guys know how much I love dogs. But he's got a very special group of people doing some great things in the community in Chicago, and I wanted you to hear about it. I wanted to pass the information along. Our friend Kelly Stewart, Kelly in Vegas from WagerTalk.com, she's gotten behind this group, this charity. She's done some great things for it. They've raised enough money. They are not only helping, they're saving dogs' lives. It's really a cool charity, and I want you guys to hear about it because we do spend an awful lot of time. We get so caught up in all this shit that we do between the handicapping and, there's a lot of time and effort that we put into, and sometimes we lose sight of what's really important. And, giving back and helping is a pretty valuable part of life, and it's a pretty valuable part of what we should be doing because, listen, we're passionate. We love what we do. We're trying to make money. We're trying to beat the books. We're trying to be better off. We're trying to be more profitable all the way around. And I think it's nice every now and then to kind of take a step back and maybe see if you can't help some folks that are doing really good work in the community in Chicago, of course, trying to help the dogs and the pets and the animals. And we'll go ahead and let you hear from him. I told you Charles Michel, Ralph Michaels. We've got it all. We are loaded. So let us go ahead here and make sure that we pass along the information first to our good friends at YAHOO, because none of this is going to matter, guys, if you do not line shop, okay? If you do not have an option to go out besides more than one place and to be able to get the best line, you're screwed, okay? And especially tonight, because you've got numbers. There's a big difference between taking Michigan State at 6 and Michigan State at 6.5. Okay, and the number has been bouncing back and forth. Big difference between taking LSU at 6.5, getting 6.5, and getting 6. This is the kind of stuff that you guys got to be aware of, and you've got to do. It's so simple. Guys, just pick up the phone, call 1-800-YOU-WAGER. All right, 1-800-YOU-WAGER. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about, customer service. Second to none, guys. Unbelievable customer service. The best of any offshore, and believe me, I belong to all of them. The best customer service offshore, bar none. You don't have to open up with $1 million. You call 1-800-YOU-WAGER. You give them the code JRS50. Forget the 50%. Right now, if you call right now, okay, before the game starts tonight, they're going to drop 100% deposit bonus into your account. 100%. So you put $100 in, they're going to match it $100. Now you got $200 to play with here tonight. And again, you just need to have the option to be able to look at the lines. If you're using a book already or you have a local book, congratulations. Nobody's looking to replace it. We're looking for you to be able to have an option to shop it and get yourself the best line. You're betting numbers. You're not betting teams. I don't care if you love Duke, hate Duke, love Michigan, hate Michigan State. It doesn't make a damn bit of difference. It's the number you need to love. And the only way you can get the best number is by having the opportunity to shop it. And YOU-WAGER, I'm telling you, the pricing has been unbelievable all week. So give yourself a chance here tonight. 1-800-YOU-WAGER. You call them right now. The code, they're waiting, JRS50. They'll turn that 50 into 100. You'll get a 100% deposit bonus match right now at YOU-WAGER. So don't waste any time, guys. Just get up there. Get her done. All right, do it now. 1-800-YOU-WAGER. Give them the code JRS50. And also want to thank our good friends from Miami Acura for their support, as always. If you are in the market for a new or certified pre-owned vehicle, guys, there's only one place to go. You know what it is. It's Miami Acura. That's right, MiamiAcura.com. If you're in the 305, guys, head over there. Pretty simple stuff. South Dixie Highway, not only with the new cars, but also certified and pre-owned vehicles, all the best in the business. We talk about getting the best number here. When you're shopping for the car, same situation. And again, used car, certified pre-owned, brand new car, doesn't make a difference. Lease, own, doesn't matter. You want to shop and get the best number. I can tell you right now, you're going to get the best number at MiamiAcura.com. Head over there, check them out, guys. Go get your shopping. Go ahead, find your car, go get a price, but don't do anything before you shop it at MiamiAcura.com. All right, coming up, Trendy Bets. We've got there 3 free plays we're going to pass along to you. You are going to hear from Ralph Michaels. He's going to go ahead and give you all sorts of information about tonight's game that you're going to need to know. Plus, our good friend Charles Michel got your free soccer plays. Kills it. When I tell you, we all made a lot of money last time he was on this show. Fully plan on making more money this weekend. He's got some free soccer plays coming up. We're going to give you that information. But first, definitely want you guys to hear about the good stuff that our friend Mike, Mr. Igor Locks, is doing in Chicago. Important stuff, and I definitely, guys, want you to hear it. So that's coming up in a second. It is the Joe Raineri Show. I know we are, it's a busy time of year. I mean, what can we tell you here as we try to make a march towards a national champion in college hoops, Major League Baseball underway, getting ready for the NBA playoffs. Heads are spinning, but it's also a good time maybe to kind of take a step back and talk about some of the good things that some of the cappers from around the country, certainly on the Joe Raineri Show, some of the great things that are happening in the community. And joining us here today is our good friend Mike, better known as Igor's Locks, at Locks_Igor, joining us here today. And, Mike, you got behind a great charity, a local charity by you there in the Illinois area, Chicago area, doing some great things for dogs. We all love our pets here on the show. So talk to us a little bit about the One Tail at a Time Rescue and what you got going on there.
Sure, no problem. Yeah, everybody loves dogs, literal and figurative this time of year, right? But, it's a shelter that works in Chicago, and they try to fill in the gaps where, like, some dogs that, just due to the volume in Chicago, there's a lot of dogs they could put on the euthanized list rather quickly. And they try to fill in the gaps and hopefully save some of these dogs from a bad fate that they really don't deserve. And it's Igor's birthday actually today, March 29th. He's officially 2 years old. So I figured in honor of his birthday, we're going to try to do this and make this a yearly thing now. Figured we try to raise some money for these people because they really are doing God's work. The one post I put up, and I'll put it up again, the one dog, his name was Marks, and he's able to get this probably rather expensive eye surgery, and when you see the picture, you're going to see why he has some issues. And
yeah, we got him up.
With that, without the eye surgery, it's like he's basically an unadoptable dog, and there's nothing really wrong with this guy. He don't deserve that. And with this surgery, he's good to go. And we're just trying to help these people out. They're really trying to fill in the gaps because it's a big city, Chicago, and there's a lot of stuff that gets missed, and these people are really doing God's work, so we want to help them out.
Awesome stuff here. Yep, got the picture there right now. Look at that. How cool is that? And these dogs, like you said, they don't deserve this. They didn't do nothing wrong.
No.
So if you guys,
it's not their fault.
Yeah, and who doesn't love a good dog, guys? Right? I mean, that's what it is all about. So we got it up there on the screen.
They say that dogs are really the only animals. If you think about it, the term breaking an animal, when you talk about a horse or whatever, this or that, dogs are the only animals that they decided on their own accord to come on down out of the mountains, and hey, they liked what we had going on, and they decided to form the alliance. So that's a special bond. So yeah, that's to be cherished. And like I said, a lot of these dogs, they don't deserve this. With the situation, the cards that they were dealt, So
one tail at a time.
Especially in Chicago, a lot of half pit bull type dogs. There are so many that people do not get their animals spayed, neutered, and you just have dogs that get out, and all of a sudden, hey, wow, 5-6 months later, hey, I guess she's pregnant again, and here's another unwanted litter. So yeah, there's a lot of work to be done here. So these people try to do the best they can.
One tail at a time. It is up on the screen, guys. Just follow the links. It's pretty simple there. Any help you can give, we'd certainly appreciate it. Doing great work there, and we certainly appreciate you bringing it to our attention there, Mike. And listen, the dogs, we're going to do what we can to help them, but there's a couple of dogs up on the screen here this week. Of course, trying to march to a Final Four, try to get ourselves a national champion in college hoops. And at @Locks_Igor, what an amazing follow. You have been killing it all tournament long, my friend, by the way. Even the free plays that you've been putting up have been hitting. You've just it's been an exceptional tournament for you. So talk to me a little bit about who's left and what you like and where you see this going.
Yeah, there's, tonight, Friday night, we get the 4 games, and then Saturday we have the 2, and then Sunday we have the 2. So it's getting down to the nitty-gritty. Yeah, there's the game tonight was between the cat fight between Kentucky and Houston, the Wildcats and the Cougars. That's going to be a really entertaining game, along with North Carolina and Auburn. Both those games are just going to be outstanding games. You've got Auburn's a younger squad, but they are just so athletic. And they can match North Carolina rather, in a one-game scenario as far as athleticism-wise. And if Carolina wants to try to push tempo, Auburn's one of the few teams that could say, no problem, game on. It reminds me of, like, they talk about the highlights from that old 83 with the Louisville-Houston semifinal, how, both teams, Louisville pushed and, Houston's like, no problem, let's party, That Auburn-Carolina game has the potential to do that. Even Bruce Pearl making the comment, kind of offhanded that, hey, take the over.
Exactly.
So, again, which just shows how far that gambling culture and content has come, that we're a coach like, he he wasn't vilified in any quarters, which he shouldn't be, it's an honest observation, so yeah, anyway. And then the other one with Houston and Kentucky. Oh yeah, that should be a really good game too. It's kind of a shame that PJ Washington won't be able to go for Kentucky, and it'd be nice to see them at full strength against a Houston team that's a really veteran team. The Giroux kid can really play. Mm-hmm. I really like both dogs tonight, guys.
Could be dog shopping. It is Auburn a theme here.
And Houston.
Yeah, it is a theme here. Yeah. We are talking about dogs.
I really like both dogs.
Yep.
And like I said, both games really have the good potential. And I think that it's a pretty obvious play to take the all over with Auburn, Carolina. You might want to even tease that down a little bit just to make sure, because it's just Auburn has really shot the lights out, and sooner or later it cannot continue at that sort of a pace. But I would imagine there's going to be a little correction off of that. But still, that being said, though, they still push so hard that they're going to get their points in transition. And the best thing that kills me with these teams when they go through droughts and they do not try to drive the ball, get some contact, go to the free throw line, do something like that. And they just, stand around. You got one guy with the ball, 4 guys standing around. And, it's like, come on here, guys. We've been practicing since October here. Come on.
Well, I gotta ask you about one game here. And I thought of you when this game came up, because you and I, we have talked here on the show in the past. You were a big Horizon League guy. We talked about it when the tournament was coming around. And, of course, one of those teams that we talked about and we thought was actually a pretty good deal there before they had to play Wright State, of course. Wisconsin, Green Bay, Wisconsin, rather. Yeah. And this is a team now playing tonight in the CIT tournament, the quarterfinals, taking on Cal State Bakersfield. And this number keeps rising, too. And we know they can score. They've been putting up 100 points like nobody's business here. So I'm wondering, do you like these guys as an opportunity maybe to keep going?
Actually, on the second tier, yes. I actually do kind of like Green Bay tonight, just because, you see at this time of year, some of these teams, it's like, I remember going back to a team that I was on our junior year football. We were a real young team, but all of a sudden we started peaking towards the end. And we just missed out going to the playoffs, and it was just a shame. We would have been a real dangerous team. And that's what these second-tier tournaments do to some teams. Like, you can tell some teams are ready, and they take the opportunity, and they seize it. And they don't mind practicing. They're getting better. They're seeing the results. And Green Bay is on that path. Yeah, I would definitely say that that's a game that if you wanted to, I would really strongly consider taking the Phoenix tonight. They are really starting to play better. As the season has progressed, especially in this tournament, they've turned it on.
They really have, and I would expect them to keep playing like that. The over/under 155. I mean, hell, they've been scoring 100 on their own. So keep an eye on that game here tonight. And is there one team over the weekend that we know? I mean, Purdue, Virginia, Texas Tech, Gonzaga. Think it's which game you think is going to be a better matchup?
I gotta think Texas Tech would probably be the call against Gonzaga.
Wow.
I would imagine. I've really, and it's funny, I've gone against them the last 2 times, but I do really like that team. And, it's funny, during the broadcast last night, Reggie Miller remarked about it, and I've heard Fran Fraschilla, who's a really good analyst and just a solid basketball guy, talk about how well their practices are, Texas Tech this being, how well their practices are run, just the attention to detail. And it really shows the way that team plays defense. Mm-hmm. And, yeah, in a one-game scenario, we'll see how close that they call it. But I would imagine that I would have to kind of lean Texas Tech almost a little bit.
Getting 4 points
right now. Yeah, right now, but yeah, that's of course we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see what happens tonight.
Got a lot to go tonight before we get there, but that's the bottom line. @Locks_Igor, he is Mike. Let me go ahead, put this up for you one more time. Remind you guys, one tail at a time. Rescue out of Chicago, doing some great work there. If you guys can please head over on Twitter there, you guys can see him at one tail at a time. Go ahead. Any help that you can provide there.
$5 even.
That's
guys,
it.
yeah.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Anything and everything is always welcome. These guys are doing great work, and we appreciate you bringing it to our attention, Mike. And we wish you the best of luck here tonight for the rest of the tournament. You've been killing it, and make sure you guys are tailing him too @Locks_Igor. You got some quality winners there. You want to profit a little bit before it's all said and done. Make sure you're tailing him. Mike, appreciate your time, brother. Good luck. We'll talk to you again soon.
Okay, good luck tonight, everybody. Let's drill.
All right, good stuff there. I want to thank Mike very much at Igor's Locks there, @Locks_Igor. Also doing some great stuff there. Great charity, great effort, and a pretty damn good handicapper in his own right. So make sure you guys are tailing him @Locks_Igor is where you can get him, and we are just getting started here on the Joe Raineri Show. Guys, welcome in. Happy Friday, the Friday recap edition of the show. Trying to go ahead and bring as much information your way as possible with what is going on over the weekend. Of course, Final Four. We had an opportunity to talk to a Final Four. Well, Sweet 16. We're going to get to the Final Four by Monday. We'll know what the Final Four is. But we had a chance to talk to our friend Ralph Michaels, WagerTalk.com on Tuesday. He talked about these games, came up with some T&A, some trends and angles. Before you make a play, you should probably hear what Ralph had to say. So that is coming up. Also, our friends at TrendyBets.com, they've got you all hooked up here in free plays tonight. Not only in the NBA, one of the Sweet 16 games, and a Major League Baseball game, MLB game they've got going on. Trendy Bets has been killing it. You are going to hear from the Keg man himself there, the Sports Keg CEO, Jay. Got another Keg cast going on tonight. Also, I don't know if you guys know this, one of the best UFC reporters, covers the UFC, and he's one of the best UFC handicappers that we have talked to here on the show. So Jay, the Sports Cake CEO, will tell you where you can see him tonight and tomorrow, UFC Philadelphia, and we'll get that coming up for you. So we got plenty of stuff to go here, including our good friend Ralph Michaels from WagerTalk.com. All right, let's start with the game that everyone is going to be looking at, Duke Tech. So we talked a little bit about the hype surrounding Duke, surrounding Tech. We talked about, with Ralph, the whole concept of this game opened up at 8. All right, Duke was laying 8 points, kind of shifted it over now a little bit. It's +7 to Virginia Tech, so there has been a little bit of buyback, but this came at a big number. And yes, there was no Zion last time they played, but the question I had for him was very simple. Does Ralph think that Duke is 8 points better than Virginia Tech, a team that knows them very well, who also didn't have Justin Robinson? Here's what Ralph Michaels, WagerTalk.com, had to say about it.
Yeah, I don't think so. And people talk, they go back and let's throw one thing and start the Duke conversation with this. Duke lost to Virginia Tech back on February 26th. Is that revenge? No. Gonzaga lost to Florida State last year in the Sweet 16. Is that revenge? Well, I'll tell you what, you may call it revenge, but when you're to the Sweet 16, you can't. There's no way in the world you need more motivation than being in the Sweet 16. Right. I don't care if you lost to a team in the finals. Yes, you may have revenge, but does that mean you're going to try harder than you would in a normal Sweet 16 game? So to me, what they did in the regular season, the only thing that does is it doesn't give Duke revenge. It says Virginia Tech can beat Duke. Now, the naysayers are going to say, well, Zion Williamson didn't play that game. And I'm going to flip it around and saying, well, for Virginia Tech, their 4-year starting point guard, Justin Robinson, had missed 12 games, and he missed that game as well. He just came back into the tournament. So first few games he only played. So, yes, Williamson was gone, but just as important or even more important, your point guard was gone for Virginia Tech. So that's another statement. And you look at Virginia Tech, Buzz Williams just plays a slow, methodical pace on offense. They have an excellent defense. And what he does different is when you look at the way they play zone and they handle screens, they always undercut the screen. Many times you watch teams and the player goes on top of a player and covers another player on the three-point line. The Hokies don't do that. Buzz Williams always undercuts the screen, always packs the lane, and allows teams to shoot three-pointers. Well, we know that's the one thing Duke doesn't do well, shoot three-pointers. That's why they struggled against Virginia Tech in the first game. So, you have a situation where the matchup favors Virginia Tech in my mind. Yes, you get your top two players back on both sides, but it's not as much of a difference as you have. And with the Sweet 16 scenario, you're going to have a very low-scoring game with teams familiar against each other. And when you can get, points almost 10% of the line, the winning team, in my mind, is going to be in the 60s, and you're getting 10% of that 60 or 6 points, or whatever the line breaks out to be. To me, that's where you have value.
So Ralph thinks the value lies with Virginia Tech. He's not alone. In fact, a lot of sharp money coming towards Virginia Tech all day long. Been seeing it. I don't think it'll ever get back up or back down. Rather, I don't think we're going to see a whole lot of shift. But 7 looks to be a pretty solid number right now. It's probably going to stay there. And if you like Virginia Tech, you'd like them with the hook, but I don't think we're going to get back to 7.5. I think 7 is where the number is going to be, but we have seen an awful lot of money come towards Virginia Tech. A lot of sharp, a lot of public money. So the value might very well lie with a Virginia Tech team not going to be intimidated. The thing that they do best is force you to shoot from 3. If you're going to beat us from 3-point range. I don't know that Duke can do that. Oh, they'll probably do it, but the question is, will they do it by 7 or more points? That's the real question. But that's what Ralph had to say about that game. Ralph also had some interesting statistics. He had a system, and he's got We call him the TNA guy here because Ralph is great when it comes to trends and angles. And he's got a couple of trends and angles about a team playing tonight that is definitely relevant. And let's go ahead and see if we can cue that up for you. Here is Ralph Michaels, WagerTalk.com, about a certain angle and trend that's happening in the Sweet 16.
Teams that score 82 or more points in their last game, and it's not the first round of the tournament, so it's after the first round. So it's not a 1 against a 16. You're into the second, third, or fourth round of the tournament. You score 82 or more points, and you're a dog this game. You have only gone 32.7%, wow. 33% against the spread, 16, 33, and 3. And that says to fade Florida State, Purdue, and Auburn. I actually lean with Florida State, and I lean with Auburn. So, the system may not take me off both of those teams, but it does go to the philosophy that you said that, running up and down that court and scoring, you're exerting your energy. You may have had it too easy. You may have not played a harder defense and you're going up in class. Whatever the case is, we have shown historically that those are teams to fade in that situation. And let me just jump in and then give you the opposite end. March Madness games after round 1 again, not including those first games, teams that score 63% or less in their last game, in that next game, they're 26-13, 66.7%.
Wow.
So we got a 33% angle on teams that scored a lot and are a dog. And on the flip side, well, if you scored 63, what does that mean? It means your opponent scored 62 or less, which means you have a very good defense. Those teams, again, teams that scored 63 or less, the next game, 26-13, those teams are Kentucky and Virginia this week.
And we've already seen what Virginia did, didn't we? They went ahead and advanced last night, taking Oregon down. Kentucky tonight taking on Houston. So the system fits. It seems to work. It's already worked with Virginia. Will it work with Kentucky? Teams that didn't score a whole lot of points their last game, but ended up coming back, and they are monstrous against the numbers, 66% against the numbers. So something to keep in mind when you're looking at this Houston-Kentucky game. P.J. Washington, is he going to be it's not going to be 100%. Yeah, in my mind, if you're going to take Kentucky this game, you got to believe Kentucky can beat them without P.J. Washington. If you're counting on P.J. Washington to somehow bring something to the table, it would be great if he did, but you've got to be able to go without him. If you're convinced that they can do that they are Kentucky, then it's really not going to make a difference if P.J. Washington plays or he doesn't play. But I can tell you this, of all the games and the money coming in, the Sharps seem to have held off on this game the longest, still waiting to figure out what's going to happen with P.J. Washington. A lot of back and forth with this. Not a whole lot of money one way or the other on either one of these teams. Pretty much split down. And, of course, Vegas sees it that way, too, as just a 2.5 point favorite. But Ralph talked about this game and P.J. Washington, and he had a couple of things to say about where he was going to lie and how he is going to handicap Kentucky-Houston tonight. Here's what he had to say.
I would argue with someone who says they're not getting enough love by saying, well, you're playing one of the blue bloods and you're only a 2.5 point dog, so hell yeah, you're getting love. So I don't know what you're talking about if you're not getting love. Vegas loves you. I mean, you look at that situation now. I would have been on Kentucky as maybe one of my strongest plays of the tournament if P.J. Washington was healthy. P.J. Washington, for those that don't know, I mean, he is the elite player on Kentucky. Without him, you have 4 freshmen and a sophomore, or 4 freshmen and a first-year transfer playing with Reed Travis. Washington led the team in scoring. Washington led the team in rebounding. Washington is the only starter to shoot over 40% from a three-point land. He had a walking boot for the first game. They knew they weren't going to play him on the second. They put a hard cast on him, and it was supposed to come off last night. I haven't gotten an update yet, but I can't imagine a player that had a hard cast on is going to turn it around and be 100% a day later. So, to me, without Washington, I'm not making a play. I would have loved Kentucky. Without Washington, does that make it strong enough where I would flip sides? No. But, if I had to make a bet with Washington not playing, I probably would lean with Houston because he's that big of a loss to me. So, again, another situation where, we saw Kansas State go down with their best player. We saw Zabuka for Kansas. We saw him go down. P.J. Washington clearly in that level or even at a higher level than those players being gone. So I don't see Kentucky going very far. Originally, in my bracket with P.J. Washington healthy before March Madness, I had Kentucky going to the finals against Duke.
So there you go. P.J. Washington is everything to Ralph, and he's not alone. A lot of guys still waiting and hoping and holding out that he is going to somehow make this miraculous recovery tonight. At that particular point, either pass the game or go the other side and go to Houston and take them as a dog, laying and getting 2.5 here. It did reach 3 at some point, but it looks like that's come back a little bit. I'm seeing a bunch of 2.5 right now. All right, there was one game, of course, that Ralph was all over. I did have a chance to ask Ralph Michaels, WagerTalk.com, about what is the one game he's got circled that he loves, that is his game of the Sweet 16. And here's what he had to say.
Color me green.
Oh.
I am Sparty.
Wow.
I think that LSU getting through the first 2 rounds, people think the suspension isn't that big of a deal of a head coach. But, I disagree. Will Wade's out. Will Wade's been out for the tournament. They got knocked out against Florida in the first round. What happened against Yale. And they got out to a 17-2 lead, I think, against Yale, and Yale comes back, and they only win by 5. The Maryland game, they win by 2. So you play 2 mediocre teams, and you win by a couple points. I give the Izzo edge 6 points in this matchup between the coaches.
Wow.
You have a team in Michigan State that's been there and done that. Michigan State 15-4 against the spread versus teams that made the NCAA tournament this year. Michigan State, when they get in March Madness and they're playing well, where they win and cover a game like they did, 22-0, 17-3-2 against the spread. And what I like is Izzo absolutely was livid after the Minnesota game. They beat a team by 20 points. Why was he livid? Well, they had 22 turnovers. It was only the 3rd time this season they had over 20 turnovers in a game, and he absolutely lit into the team. Later, when he calmed down, he talked about why they had 22 turnovers. Well, you can understand. They played 5 games in a 9-day period with a brutal stretch in the Big Ten tournament against the tournament team Ohio State, against the tournament team Wisconsin, then having to play Michigan in absolute war for the 3rd time in 2 weeks. And then you turn it around, and then you play Thursday and Saturday again against Bradley and Minnesota. So, the schedule they had, LSU, had only played 3 games in that 9-day stretch where Michigan State had played the 5. So that hurts the team that wins the conference tournament in the first round. But now we're coming down with equal rest, equal time to prep. The players are back fresh. And when you go back to, when you're in the Sweet 16 and you go back to your campus, you are basically a god for LSU. LSU has never had success like this. You're talking about a team that hasn't been to the Sweet 16, I don't think, since like 2005. So all of a sudden, you have all these young LSU players. Tremont Waters has played awesome as a freshman, and you have Emmett Williams, a freshman, and you have Naz Reid, a freshman. Those players are getting all the smoke blown up their ass this week that they are a Sweet 16 team and they're only a couple wins away from a national champion. Well, what's Michigan State doing? Nothing. They've been there. They've done that. They go back. This is a normal week for them. We're in the Sweet 16. Well, of course we're in the Sweet 16. We're supposed to be in the Sweet 16. Those players aren't fazed by this media attention they're going to get. I think that's another point or two against LSU. So again, this I can tell you that if you go to Wager Talk on Friday, don't buy my package. This will be my top play. I'm giving it to you here again. We'll call it a friend of Joe's free play. It will be my top Sweet 16 matchup, no question.
There you go. There it is. You heard it. No need to go. He's giving it to you right now. He is all over Michigan State. That, too, is another line that moved a little bit here, guys. Was at 6. It opened up at 5.5. It moved to 6. It was at 6.5 for a short period here today, but there was a little buyback. I am seeing it right now. A lot of places at Michigan State -6. Ralph all over it. That's his top play. He thinks absolutely go with Izzo and go with Michigan State. Been there, done that. This is the team to ride. That is his top play of the night. He doesn't trust the Kentucky team without P.J. Washington. He told us that. He doesn't think that Duke is 8 points necessarily better than Va-Tech. Thinks the value lies with Va-Tech. So the one game that you didn't get, he also is leaning again towards Auburn tonight, getting the 5.5. Thinks they'll be able to keep it close. Interesting fact he said, it's funny, if you're looking at the Auburn-North Carolina game, if you think Auburn is going to struggle from 3, then it's probably a smart idea to play the under. And that under is over-under total was bet up from 160 to 165 this week because Bruce Pearl came out and told everyone to bet the over. So it did get overinflated. And to Ralph's point, listen, if you're going to go, if you think Auburn's going to struggle from three-point range from the perimeter, then you should probably go ahead and take the under because they're not going to score nearly as many points. If you think North Carolina... if you think Auburn's rather is going to win, then you think it's going to be run and gun the whole time, then you want to play the over. So depending on who you think is going to win that game, if you think a lot of things got to go right, by the way, for both Auburn and North Carolina to be able to score, make it into the 170s, 180s, the way everyone thinks it's going to. If they're off, they're not an 80-point team. They're a 65, 70-point team, and will that be enough? So you got to ask yourself. It's a good way to look at it tonight with that North Carolina game. If you think Auburn is going to have a lights-out night, take the over. If you think they're going to struggle, because they ain't going to get nearly the same amount of rebounds that they have previously here, because that's what North Carolina does better than anybody, is they rebound the damn ball. So if that's the way you're looking at it, take the over if you think it's going to be a barn burner. If you think North Carolina is clearly going to win because Auburn's going to struggle, take the under. That's probably the best way to look at it. All right, coming up here, and want to welcome those of you in that are joining us here on the Friday edition of the Joe Raineri Show as we try and pass along all the information we got this week about tonight's Sweet 16. Coming up, we're going to let you hear from our boy Charles Michel from the Offshore Gaming Association. Charles has got your free soccer plays this weekend. Last time, those of you that are tailing him, last time Charles was on the show, he killed it. Every game, he gave us 4 games, and every play in every game ended up hitting. The guy is a soccer machine. He's got a little EPL action going on tomorrow. 3 or 4 games that he wants to pass along to you. Let's hear what he's got to say. Make sure that you guys are tailing him. That is coming up, as well as our friends from, yep, you guessed it, our good friends from Trendy Bets. They got your free plays, too. Going to tell you how you can get in touch with the Kegcast tonight. Our friend Jay, the Sports Keg CEO, live in-game wagering and Fightcast, UFC Philadelphia. Nobody that you want to tail when it comes to UFC better than Jay, the Sports Keg CEO. We'll give you all that information. That is coming up. Of course, we do have to thank a few other of our sponsors here making this possible, including Low Cost Airlines, Superior Cruise and Travel, and our friends at Miami Acura. So coming up here in 65 seconds, you'll hear from Charles Michel. You'll get your Trendy Bets free plays in the NBA, college hoops, as well as Major League Baseball, and tell you where you can go get the Kegcast tonight. Make some money live in-game wagering, as well as UFC Philadelphia. Going to get some of those fight picks, too. So plenty of money to make here. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in 65 seconds. It is the Joe Raineri Show.
Back pain doesn't take vacations. It never celebrates holidays. It's on the job 24/7 to keep your life exactly where it is, in limbo. But it doesn't have to be that way, because Laser Spine Institute can help you take back your life from chronic neck and back pain. With a less than 1-inch incision, our minimally invasive procedures have provided relief to over 60,000 patients with a 97% patient satisfaction rate. So get ready to stand tall and live the life you've imagined for yourself without pain. Are you or a loved one suffering from a bulging disc, herniated disc, spinal stenosis, pinched nerve, or degenerative disc disease? Call our spine care consultants now for a no-cost MRI review and to learn more. It's time to say goodbye to chronic neck and back pain. What have you got to lose? Laser Spine Institute, the leader in minimally invasive spine surgery.
Call 855-720-BACK. 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 That's 855-720-BACK.
So we know that a lot of basketball still here to play. Still looking for a national champion. We know NBA. We know Major League Baseball starts. We know, but like we've been telling you now over the last month, you need to incorporate a little bit of soccer in that sports investing portfolio of yours, because it truly is around the world a 12-month-of-year opportunity for you guys to profit, and we have found the guy to go to when it comes to investing in soccer. I wouldn't trust anybody other than our next guest. Charles Michel joins us at ROI Capper 1. Make sure you are tailing him, guys. I'm telling you right now, he's popping out all sorts of money right now on Twitter, giving you guys free plays, giving you some great analysis, great breakdown, and he joins us here. And Charles, thank you very much for taking the time to hang out with us. I mean, every time you come on the show, you deliver winner after winner after winner for the viewers. So we appreciate your time, my friend. Thank you very much for coming on.
No problem. I appreciate you having me on today, Joe.
All right, let's talk some soccer here, my friend. You've always got a few things heading into the weekend up your sleeve. So what do you got on tap for us that we should be looking at?
Absolutely. I'm pinpointing the EPL, the English Premier League, will be my first league that I'm looking to draw a little bit of profits from. I am going with the first match on the card, which features Fulham welcoming Manchester City, making the trip south to West London to face the Cottagers, which are currently 19th in the Premiership. So they are pretty much on their way out. If you noticed, I have featured them in a couple of my games. They are basically the whipping boys of the Premiership. So Man City come in 2 points off of the lead to Liverpool and the Premier League table, but they still have a game in hand, so they can ultimately catch them. So they need all 3 points in this matchup. I foresee a Manchester City dominant performance. They have thoroughly owned this Fulham team in the past. They have won their last 7 against Fulham in all competitions, which they have been winning at halftime and full-time in their last 5 EPL matches, and they have scored a minimum of 2 goals in their last 8 meetings with this club, while Fulham come in having lost their last 11 matches and have seen their, like I said, their chances of survival just rapidly decrease. So they're just pretty much everyone's whipping boys. So I see Pep Guardiola sending out a pretty powerful lineup. I'm anticipating a 0-2 type of score line by the end of the first half. So I would back the over 1.5 total first half goals. You can get that around minus 115, 1.87 in the European market, plus the minus 1 Man City first half spread. You can get that around minus 120. At 1.83 on the European as well. So I'm looking for Man City to take a 2-0 lead, then stretch that lead in the second half. I'm anticipating maybe a 0-4, 1-4 type of scoreline. Fulham are capable of pulling a goal back, so the both teams' score is in play as well, but I will back the Man City team total over 2.5/2.75 based on what your book offers. And I'll throw in the the whammy as well. The over 3.5, 3.75 a full game. Last time this ended 3-0 Manchester City. The line was set at 3.75 and 4 in certain markets, so it went under. So I'm anticipating this one to go fully over in this matchup. So any way that you can back Man City in this match, I would hammer it. First half, full game, team totals, any different scenario. I anticipate a large goal output against this struggling Fulham side.
All right, there you go. You heard it. Manchester's the way to go. Make sure you circle that game there. That is EPL, and that game is when now?
We're going off at 8:30 a.m. Eastern, so it is the first match on the docket.
Perfect. All right, so make sure you guys get that play in early. Make sure, as we bring it up here for you one more time, you can see it on the screen here. Here is Charles's Twitter page there, as you can see, Mr. ROI Capper 1. As you can see, all the great stuff, the great information that he posts, guys, about soccer. This is definitely the page you want to go to on Twitter. Make sure you guys are tailing him. All right, so we've got a EPL game. What do you got? You got another game here that you circled on the card that you really like?
And I have two more, and I'll run through these briefly. My upset alert of the weekend in the EPL is between Burnley and Wolves. Wolves travel to Burnley. Burnley sit right above the relegation line, so they need points in a desperate way. Wolves come in red hot. This team, they were promoted last season, so they have torn the Premier League up since their arrival. So they are in consideration for Europa League play at the moment. But last time these teams met, Wolves defeated them 2-0 on their own pitch. So I expect Burnley to extract a bit of revenge. So I'm going to take Burnley on the Asian handicap plus 0.25. Plus I'm going to lay an additional wager on the draw and the money line. They're at plus money. They're at 2-1. So either way it lands, you would come out in a profit as well. So I'm taking Burnley to either win straight up or at least draw with Wolves. I could definitely see a 1-1. I could even see Burnley winning 2-1. So I'm going to cover my bases. I'm going to take it on the Asian handicap spread, and then I'm going to put a little on the draw in the money line, so that way I'm guaranteed of a profit either way I go at plus money.
All right, there you go. That's play number 2. Play number 3 from our good friend Charles Michel at ROI Capper 1 on Twitter. What's your other one you're looking at?
I have Crystal Palace welcoming Huddersfield Town. Huddersfield Town sit bottom in the table.
And this is EPL still as well?
Yeah, yes, we're still in the EPL.
Go ahead. Yep.
Last time out, Huddersfield Town took a 3-1 lead against fellow London side West Ham and ended up folding that to lose 4-3 in stoppage time. I think they were pretty deflated off of that defeat. I know that they've had the international break, but Crystal Palace is loaded with talent. So right now you can get it at -1, -120, 1.83. And on the European market, on most books, will back Crystal Palace -1 and team total over 1.5, because if they're going to get the -1, they need to score at least 2 goals. So I'm going to back a 2-0, maybe even a 3-0 type of output from Crystal Palace over Huddersfield Town. And these go off at both the Burnley at Wolves and Crystal Palace and Huddersfield go off at 11 a.m. Eastern.
There you got it, guys. Plenty of ways. Like we said, in order to be able to profit, you got to have some soccer in that portfolio of sports investing that you're using. And it starts with knowing the right people. And this is definitely a guy you want to utilize his knowledge. This is all he does, guys. He loves his soccer 12 months out of the year. And there's so much more, right? Don't you got international play or just you got some league play coming back? There's so much going on here, Charles, right?
Oh, yeah. This summer we have the Women's World Cup, which is huge. We have the Copa America. We have the Gold Cup. We have the UEFA Nations League. So what the final league game and Champions League ends, the summer will carry us through. We had the World Cup last year. The following summer, we'll have the the Euros 2020, so it never stops. You don't have to worry about downtime. But I do have one more banger for you guys.
Go ahead.
This is in Portugal, Primeira Liga. This is not considered one of the top 5 leagues, but Portugal produces some of the best talent in the world. I have Benfica, which were just recently eliminated from the Champions League. They're current occupiers of a Europa League spot. They're welcoming Tondela. This kind of falls right in the same wavelength as Manchester City. I'm going to take the Benfica to take a 2-0, 3-0 lead into halftime and stretch their lead. So the -1 first half spread, the over 1.5 first half, and then I'll take the team total over 2.5 Benfica. I'll give you guys those 3, as I think, like I mentioned previously, a 2-0 lead by halftime, and then they add on 1 or 2 once the second half resumes.
Love that. All right, guys, plenty of ways for you to profit here heading into the weekend. Certainly hope you will start by heading over to @ROICapper1 on Twitter. Guys, this is the way to go. A lot of free picks he's putting up over there. Plus, you'll have an opportunity to reach out to him, DM him. You want to start utilizing Charles on a regular basis, weekly basis. He'll join us here, but of course, you guys have access to him on Twitter @ROICapper1. And Charles, as always, my friend, it is a pleasure to talk to you. Looking real forward to getting into some soccer here now that March Madness is winding down. Major League Baseball, soccer, looking so forward to utilizing all your information, your expertise, my friend. And we thank you very much for taking the time. Good luck. We'll talk to you again next week.
Hey, Joe, and I want to send a quick shout-out to my compadres at Capper Enterprise, the top verification service on Twitter, and to let everyone know that I will have a website coming out probably in the next week or so. So next time I'll come on, I'll have further information to give on regarding that new development. But once again, I appreciate you taking out the time and allowing me on your platform.
Absolutely. Shout out to Capper Enterprises. And Charles, good luck this weekend. As always, my friend, appreciate your time. We'll talk to you again next week.
Thank you, Joe.
Want to thank Charles Michel very much for stopping by there. Soccer plays, guys, get ready for it. Got to put a little soccer into your investing portfolio here in the world of sports, and nobody better than Charles Michel. So good luck. I hope you guys wrote that down. And make sure that you got it all ready to rock and roll. If not, make sure you hit the replay here, because the last time he did that on this show, you see the sign in the back says "Make it rain." That's exactly what he does. So I've already got the plays in. I hope you guys will tail him at the very least there at ROICapper1 and get ready to make some money playing soccer with Charles. The guy is like a soccer savant. It is crazy. All right, speaking of making some money, making it rain, guys, nobody has done a better job this year than our friends at TrendyBets.com, who are once again getting ready to deliver tonight, not just in the NBA, but a college game as well as a Major League Baseball game. And if you guys have not done so, you need to be tailing these guys on Twitter, guys. There it is, Trendy Bets. Make sure you are tailing these guys. Unbelievable. They've got MLB packages available for you guys right now, 50% off. Of course, they've got the rest of the NBA, including the playoffs. They do have the rest of the college basketball season available for you. I mean, these were their plays last night we showed you. This is what they sent out. This is what they delivered to clients last night. And as you can tell, that's pretty damn impressive. Guys, they are just winners. That's what they do. And they've been doing it all year long at Trendy Bets. So make sure you head over there at Trendy Bets on Twitter. Tail them, TrendyBets.com. Go get yourself a package and start making it a profitable 2019 with our friends at Trendy Bets. All right, let's take a look at their plays tonight. Trendy Bets, we'll start in the NBA. Hornets at Lakers. Let's see, Charlotte on fire, by the way, won the last 4 games. They're in that number 9 spot right now, but they look unbeatable. They're hitting 90-foot shots. They're hitting things from the rafters. They're winning games in all sorts of ways right now. They are rolling Charlotte on the road. L.A., LeBron is playing tonight. Charlotte laying 2 over 225.5. Trendy Bets, their free NBA play. Hornets laying 2. They're talking about the over here the Hornets being 4-0 against the number in their last 4 games overall. They've won all 4. The Lakers, not so great, 2-5 against the number in their last 7 home games. The Lakers 1-7 against the number in their last 8 games, following a straight-up loss of more than 10 points, which they seem to do at a regular basis. Also, the Hornets 10-2-1 against the number in the last 13 meetings in Los Angeles. So your Trendy Bets play here tonight is the Hornets. Lay the 2 points and get yourself a victory there. All right, let's see what we've got here. Let's go to their college play. College tonight, LSU, Michigan State, MSU laying 6 total, 148. I think that's gone up now to 149. Here's what we're looking at. The Trendy Bets play tonight. The under. Ooh, they like the under in this game, guys. 148. It's actually 149. It's been bet up. So it's 149.5 right now, but that plays into what Trendy Bets likes even more. They want the under in this game. Going to give them a couple extra points. Be my guest. The under tonight in the LSU Michigan State game. Under is 5-2 in the Spartans' last 7 neutral site games. The under 16-5-1 in Michigan State's last 22 games versus a team with a winning percentage above 600. Bottom line, the under 10-1 in LSU's last 11 NCAA tournament games. Nobody's ever hit the over between these two teams in a long time. So they're going under tonight. It says 148, but the actual number right now is 149. So go get yourself some under tonight, LSU, Michigan State. And finally, a Major League Baseball game for you guys. And don't forget, they got Major League Baseball packages. They've got the rest of the NCAA tournament, and of course, all throughout the NBA, the rest of the season, and the NBA playoffs. These guys have done nothing but deliver consistent profits for their clients. Here's what we're looking at tonight. Major League Baseball, Diamondbacks, Dodgers. LA right now, about a minus 161 on the money line. Total runs tonight is 7. Trendy Bets loves the under tonight. Yeah, after they hit, 19 home runs yesterday, the Dodgers? 8. Of course, chasing Zach Greinke, Arizona. Not so much tonight. I do believe that Ray is pitching for Arizona tonight, if I am not mistaken. So the under is also 7-2 in the Rays' last 9 road starts. You got to think that, the wind was howling last night and blowing out. Not so much the weather today in Dodger Stadium. Under 7 seems like a much better proposition, if you ask me as well. That might be the way that you want to lean here tonight. Of course, the under 16-5-1 in the Dodgers' last 22 after allowing 5 runs or more in their previous game. It was a bit of a shootout last night. I do think maybe it'll be more of a pitcher's battle tonight. So I'm on this game with them as well. Under 7 tonight, Diamondbacks, Dodgers. All right, so make sure that you guys check that out. And again, if you didn't see it, you got Hornets-Lakers. Lay the 2 tonight from TrendyBets.com in that Lakers-Hornets game. And, of course, the under tonight, LSU-Michigan State. And that is how they are rolling at TrendyBets.com. And you guys make sure that you head over to TrendyBets.com. They've got free plays on there. They're giving free plays on their Twitter page. A lot of great information. A lot of very valuable and profitable plays being posted. You just got to make the effort. Go follow them, guys. TrendyBets.com. That is TrendyBets.com. All right, I do want to talk about, because we told you about our good friend Jay, the Sports Keg CEO. They've got another Kegcast going on tonight, I believe. And if you don't know what these Kegcasts are, let me go ahead and put the screen up here for you. Let me show you here. Tonight, the Kegcast, 7 o'clock. You'll see that right in the middle there. It's on YouTube, but you can follow them on Twitter, and the links are always going to be there. It is basically Jay and a whole group of degenerate gamblers. No, I'm only kidding. A whole group of cappers. It's like a giant handicapping think tank. And what they do all night long is they open up their live betting windows with their books. They go ahead and bounce ideas off of each other. They talk about the games. They make strategies. And what they end up doing is being up units. Right now, they've been doing this for a little over, I believe, 6 weeks. And just on the KegCast, these live KegCasts, they are up collectively 75 units. So they'll all decide on a play. They'll announce it to the group. Everyone agrees on it. They make the play. And they've been doing this now almost 2 months. And guess what? They're up almost 75 units on this show, guys. You got to be kidding me. So if you've never live bet anything, or if you've always wanted to do some in-game wagering and you don't know what you're doing and it's a little intimidating, don't be. Head over to YouTube tonight, 7 o'clock. Join Jay and the rest of the cappers. Great guys, all right? These are great guys. They're helping everybody. Their goal is to make all of us a little more profitable here and take a little more money from the sports books, because Lord knows that they have enough of it. So tonight at 7 o'clock, the Sports Keg gets another KegCast going on. And if you guys don't know, also, not only do they have that going on, but he is one of the top UFC cappers and covers it, as you can see here, the Sports Keg. He works for oddsmarket.com. At Oddsmarket, he writes their articles for the UFC. Always he'll have one of those live KegCasts during fight night, during the UFC, and they have dominated. And he dominates betting on the UFC. I've had him on the morning show a whole bunch of times. I trust my UFC plays with Jay, the Sports Keg CEO, and I would definitely encourage you guys, if you want to dabble a little bit into some UFC fights this week, UFC Philadelphia, definitely the people that you want to go to right there, the Sports Keg. Make sure you guys are tailing him there and get ready for another KegCast tonight, because when it comes to breaking down and picking the right fighters, the profitable fighters for the Keg for UFC, Jay, the Sports Keg CEO, is the guy that you want to do. All right, so make sure you guys get there tonight. They're going to go live. There it is, 7 o'clock. Make sure you just follow them on Twitter, guys. There it is, at the Sports Keg CEO. You can just search the Sports Keg in YouTube. It'll take you directly to their page. Get her done there. Good luck to Jay, and of course, good luck to you guys. TrendyBets.com. Want to thank them, and I'll send one more shout out to our good friends at Halftime Magic, by the way, who have got they've got it rolling too. Second half wagering. Just a reminder, if you're unsure of the full game lines, if you're going, you know what, I don't know. Do I want to lay 6? I'd rather, I'd hope and rather maybe watch some of the game first before I made a play. Well, hello, that's Halftime Magic. That's what they do. They specialize in second half wagering. In real time, they collect the data from the first half of the college games, the NBA games. They analyze that data in real time. They send out an alert via your cell phone. You get the text. It tells you which way to go. Boom, you make the play, and you start cashing in second half wagering. Why is it so good? Why is it so profitable? Well, it's not one of these 5%, 100%, 25%. It's a flat bet way to go, and all you do is they're giving you an edge. If they send a play out, it's because the odds makers, the line, is all whacked out, meaning there is inefficiencies in the market. They are discovering them, they are highlighting them, and they are passing them on to you. I have been with Halftime Magic now all throughout the NFL and college season, all throughout the NBA and college hoop season, and guys, it's nothing but profits, okay? It's stealing. Averaging in hold now for the last couple of years around 58.5% across these sports. This is the way to go, guys. There are sharps that only play second halves. So if you have not done that, if you have not dabbled in second half wagering, go with one of the leaders, one of the guys that does it better than anybody else in the country, in the business. Halftime Magic, the team at Halftime Magic, real time, analyzing the data in these games, sending off alerts, giving you guys an opportunity to profit second half. Do yourself a favor and head over to @halftimemagic.com and stop in there and start utilizing them. Packages, I think $29, and you'll get all the plays for the tournament. Doesn't get any better than that. Want to thank Ralph Michaels, WagerTalk.com, TrendyBets.com. Want to thank you guys, Charles Michel, also Igor's Locks. You guys rock. It's going to be fun tonight, guys. It is Friday, headed into a monster weekend. Major League Baseball tonight, UFC, Sweet 16, going to be Elite 8. You know, by Monday, our heads are going to be spinning, but they're also our bankrolls are going to be increasing. All the guys that we just introduced you to that you heard from today, and if you missed any of it, please go ahead. The videos are housed on our social media pages. So whether it's Twitch, whether it's Twitter, Periscope, Facebook, YouTube, these videos will remain here. Just make sure you thumb through them, guys. Go back. See Charles Michel's got soccer plays for you tomorrow. EPL, you don't want to miss that, okay? The guy went undefeated last time he was on the show with his soccer plays. Opportunities tomorrow in the English Premier League. He gave you those plays. Make sure that you guys check that out. Make sure you check out Igor's Locks at locks_Igor. Mike, great job there. Another guy that does nothing but put out winners for free on his page. So tail him. Definitely worth doing that. Don't forget the Kegcast tonight as well, 7 o'clock. Jay, the Sports Keg CEO, and our friends at halftimemagic.com. I don't think I missed anybody. Let's make it a profitable week, guys, and we can do that by having each other's back. So do us a favor if you can. The only thing we ask is like these videos, share these videos, subscribe to our pages, and make sure that you join us during the week on the one and only Fantasy Sports Radio Network. We've got you covered from 6A, where we make it rain, me and Dane Martinez, till noon, from 9 until noon. Me and Gabe Morency, we've got you for the morning after. Everything you need to know in the world of sports and sports betting and just how degenerate we truly are. You guys can get a sneak peek at that by downloading the Fantasy Sports Radio Network app. Not to mention us, but guys, if you're playing DFS on FanDuel or DraftKings, nobody better than the guys at Daily Roto that are on these shows. Constant live content and programming from the best fantasy guys that have been made millionaires overnight using this information and using Daily Roto. These are the guys that you want to be listening to. Download the app. It is the Fantasy Sports Radio Network. Have a great weekend. We'll pop by again a couple of times over the weekend. Make sure you're liking the page, following us. Make sure you are line shopping. Make sure that you guys get to our friends, all right, at UWager. Start making sure that you guys are getting the best number, not just a number, but the best number. 1-800-UWager. Give them the code JRS50. They'll drop a 100% deposit bonus match in there right now. 100% can be yours. 1-800-UWager. 1-800-UWager. Give them the code JRS50, and they will go ahead. That's right. March Madness, it has begun. They'll drop in 100%. They'll match it right now. Put in $50, they'll put in 50. Put in 100, they'll put in 100. All right, start utilizing the market. 1-800-UWager. The code is JRS50. You guys have been great. Good luck to you. Thank you so very much for supporting us, making us a part of your day. Support these cappers you see on the show. We're all in this together, guys. We're trying to do one thing and one thing only, and that is be a little more profitable this year, take a little bit more money from the sports books, because Lord knows they've got enough of it. Crush it tonight, guys. Good luck. We'll talk to you over the weekend. Thanks for watching The Joe Raineri Show. Good luck to you guys.